Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where I beat the hardest boss in Elden Ring. It took like 20 tries, but she's dead and I never have to fight her again. Today we are talking about Action Comics number 46, The Devil's Playground. A story where Superman fights against a masked criminal known as Domino, because I have to assume Batman's colorful villains have inspired or putting pressure on the Action Comic Book team to come up with better villains other than those gangsters. Though it's not much unlike a gangster story. Some guys have shown up at the carnival putting up their rigged games. The proprietor of the carnival kicks them off, but they tell him that their leader Domino will come after him. That night, Domino shows up. He wears like a purple ski mask with the holes in the mouth cut out and a green outfit. Except what's really weird about his first appearance is there's supposed to be like this shine off his teeth, but it makes it look like he has fangs and that he's a monster. I'm not sure if that's what they were going for. I feel like they were just trying to get across that there's a shine on his teeth. I expect this because, well, we don't see him with fangs ever again in the comic. Does Domino have any superpowers or anything? No. So is he much of a supervillain? Nope. He just has a costume. He has an iconography. Good for him. The proprietor ends up leaving his office complaining about Domino right when Lois and Clark are walking by. They're at the carnival for a date. Because plot purposes, they're always where they need to be. Watch any detective show, and that's basically the truth about like how Columbo or character on Psych or any of Monk, anything that's on USA, they're generally in the right place at the right time, or arguably the wrong time for the person who gets murdered. Lois and Clark go on one of those spinning rides. It's like airplanes that are tied to a pole and are swinging around, kind of like Dumbo in a way. The rope snaps. Wait a minute. It was using a rope? You know, steel cables existed in the 1940s. There's no way that ride would be safe with just rope. Clark notices this, so he falls out of the ride so he has time to turn into Superman. He does this a lot because, well, it's 1940s. They're going to go to carnivals a lot. There's not a lot to do for a date. And people went to carnivals a lot. Makes sense. I see the soundness of my logic. And almost every time they go to carnivals, he has this tendency to jump out of a ride to explain why he disappeared. Lois never really is interested in like how he survived the fall afterwards. But as Superman, he fixes the rope and goes around having to take out some guys who are threatening the proprietor. Domino even shows up for a moment, but kind of escapes. Lois is now dating this rich socialite who has shown up because she doesn't like to be ignored. Which, you know what? Fair to Lois. But the most unbelievable part of this comic book is that Lois, with all this stuff going on, is just going to continue with a date and not care about, you know, reporting on the story, because she loves getting the story above all else. No, she's just going to go out with this rich socialite that happened to show up. Superman ends up here overhearing two guys have set up a bomb in one of the boat rides. He then kicks the boat further back so it explodes. He does know he could have just picked up the boat and taken it out of there. He finally confronts Domino, and Domino tries to blow stuff up with his dynamite, but he uses his freezing breath. Well, he just blows very hard. He doesn't really use the freezing breath to take it out. And Domino kind of escapes, but as Superman, he's able to prove that it's the rich socialite, because who else was it going to be? There are no other suspects. It's the only thing that makes sense. Why else would this dude be in the comic? And that's pretty much it for The Devil's Playground. It's not all that interesting. I only really remember the part where Superman falls out of the ride, and he does that several times. Domino is a villain you're not going to be seeing very often. He has no actual gimmick other than he wore a costume. And that's it for The Devil's Playground, Superman number 46. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let us ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? And why doesn't Lois care about Clark falling out of a ride that's like 50 feet high? Okay, have a great day.